Hi, Larry, Katie, and Taylor here again. Some quick thoughts for this week. First, SOS sent out an email today, Friday, that's about the ASB Resource Guide. And what the Resource Guide is the sources that you have within ASB for when you need them. So it's a good guide for if you're not sure what they are, look at it. Even if you think you know what they are, look at it, get refreshed, and know how to look for it and know where to find them when you need one of those and you don't know what to do. There's a resource for you. SOS is also offering one-on-one consulting with sales associates on ACEs. There's sessions where for you as a sales associate or anyone wish to learn more about ACEs, features and functionality, and how to get started. So contact SOS at AmericanBus.com and make an appointment and get a spot for yourself. Another good thing to remember this time of year, any time of the year really, but be responsive. If you're in sales and you have end users or you have vendors calling you, whoever is your contact in your business day life and probably personal, but responsiveness is like a lost art for a lot of people. After COVID, they stay home and, we used to all be on milk routes. We used to all go around and see people on a regular basis. We used to do a lot of things differently, but now that's the old days. Now this is the new days. And so sometimes people get a little lax and they don't respond. But responsiveness is key. So get back to your customers and prospects quickly. If you can't, find a way to keep the ball rolling or kick the can down the road, so to speak. But make some kind of a touchback. Number two, follow up. Always follow up. One way or another, saying I'm looking for it, or I haven't found it yet, or here's something, I've got an idea, but follow up and give them a touch back. It's always a good way to get another touch. Follow through. Make sure you're doing the right thing for the right reasons, and you're following up with your customer by following through and doing what you said you were going to do. And if you do it quickly and don't procrastinate, you'll remember what you said and you will do it. Last one, anticipate needs. Always anticipate the needs, especially of your customers or prospects, but also anticipate needs of anybody that you're working with or communicating with. Now, the last thing is the most important, probably of the day. Justin sent out an email to the ASB family announcing the promotion of Taylor Borst to the VP of Renter Relations, Marketing, and Events. You've probably been involved with Taylor when she first came us about 6 years ago. She started getting our marketing younger, but really building a marketing department and getting our arms around it. And I always say that's the most exciting, energizing part of the ASB support home office family is all the young people that are in that department and in that group with all the great ideas with technology and really, really fantastic marketing graphics and how we present ourselves internally, but to the world outside. We don't have the old red, white, and blue that just as we talked about that was mostly internal. That I said that's red, white, and blue for us. We just didn't reach out to the world. And now with the tools that are available, you have to. And as we get bigger, we are it. So we're not that secret anymore. But Taylor's been very, very good at what she does in doing that part of it. But she's also developed a lot of other talents working with Dana. And so she's gotten to the point where she can join the senior leadership team as VP, and she can be the head of vendor relations in that department, which Dana will pass on to her, as well as events, which Dana also had, but Taylor was getting more and more engaged with that team. And she still has marketing, which she always had. as far as the department that she worked with to grow and make it go better yet. But as American continues to grow, we have more and more demands on how do we expand or not just expand but grow in our offerings to our sales associates, our end user customers and prospects, to the marketplace, so that we become more and more relevant and grow into that company, that people know who we are, and that we're a player on the national level. But now, as we started to look for the future with our new software, with our app system, we can do other countries and other currencies and do it as another company within apps and leverage a lot of the technology we have to move into those marketplaces and be very successful. So somebody has to oversee that. Somebody has to help drive that. We'll be adding other people, of course, but Dana's been very strategic. When during COVID, he and Bill, Justin and Bill and that team put together our PPE project with the Far East, and being able to import products. And we put together the importing vendor group. So they're all patriots, they're all pre-vetted, and they all do things just like they do in the U.S., but they do it importing and being able to do things overseas. So, Dana drove that with the vendors, came from the vendor world, and he knows that vendor world, especially the promo side of it, very well. And so he's been working with me in Canada, and on the vendor side, we got started going up there and making calls. And with Merrick, our good friend at St. Regis, he gave us a bunch of contacts, and we expanded that. So over the last couple of years, we made a lot of good contacts and relationships, which now, when we go live in February and start onboarding people, we can start bringing that Canadian Solutions for Business to fruition. But we even have an ally or an asset, Max, in Canada, as our VP of Canadian Solutions for Business. And Max's dad, who started in Facilis, a software company, and grew it in Canada and sold out to another company later. And now they, actually, Dan was involved when it was in the U.S. too. But then the private company, they kind of moved it to the U.S. And, I think it looked like they overlooking their Canadian heritage, which we're not going to do. As CSB, as Canadians helping Canadians, and we're going to help them grow under our model and umbrella as a separate, totally owned company of ASB as we move forward. But we also, I know Dana, Bill, and Justin signed up and be a part of a number of groups. And for European Solutions for Business, we've saved that name, and we made some contacts. And what we just seen recently where Taylor Corporation has a wholly owned separate company that is kind of like Navitor. And here in the U.S., it's for distributors and as far as going to market. And that company in Europe is taking 3M products over to those distributors. So Dana just sent that around and said, hey, pretty interesting. And it is that they're reaching out. I had no clue that Glenn Taylor had his fingers in that one. But anyway, that just shows how everybody is going to be more global and doing more things around the globe. So as ASB gets into that world, we need somebody to oversee that and help that. Dana will be the first key in making that happen, and we'll be adding other people with specific talents and relationships along the way for that. But also, Dana's also working on new verticals like the golf vertical or the ASB athletics. New products and new ideas, and how do you approach that new idea? I know I always talk about Rambo, which was the company that Phil Stump was going to go to in the late 80s before I talked him out of it and got him to come to the ASB family, because we needed to get into the walking billboards of the promo world. At that time, we were 100% promo or print and supplies and zero promo. And all the print guys did not want to sell trinkets and trash or that thing, because it really wasn't a product category as we saw it in the 80s. But in the 90s, when the promo world started to get into the distributor world because the print world was changing, all of a sudden it changed. And then it became a marketing tool. So now we all talk about promo. But over the years, American went from 100% print and supplies to now 50% print and supplies and 50% promo. So it just continues to grow, but print is still a very, very important part of our product proposition, but it's really important in being program selling. You got to be program selling, one-stop shop. Get the electric fence around your customer with ACES and get out there and just sell them everything. And that's how you learn other product categories and you grow, but you really capture your customer and you give them what they need. You make their life simpler, but you can provide them the reporting and the product solutions, whatever they say. Like I always say, what is their desire? What's their source of pain? What are those things they can't find and do? And so that's how we keep finding something new. And just, it's really, the customer is asking, oh, can you do this? And we say, yes, we can. But, we have to say we're not there yet. We're coming. But we'll get there and you will get it. So it's always yes or yes, but never a no. But anyhow, we welcome Taylor aboard to the SLT, and also Dana. We are thankful that he's helping us in these new endeavors and these new projects and opportunities. He's got a lot of relationships, and he just continues between him and Justin and Bill and the team. They know a lot of people in the industry. I know a lot of old timers, but there's a lot of new people as things change and move on. So as we are transitioning in our lives, we're also transitioning in our business, and our business is getting younger, and we're moving forward with all the family sales associates, or the second generation, that we found that was our solution, and that's working well. We got a lot of sales associates who don't have family interested, that we're teaming them up with younger people that are trying to cut their teeth and get started. So there's ways for you to keep doing what you're doing, but still help your customers by to do more and help somebody new get into the business. And so that's where Dana also worked with our recruiting and retention teams in trying to tell the American story, get him to a DA, try to close him and get him a part of the American family, and then figure out how do we onboard them and how do we move it forward and help them live their American dream, Canadian dream, or European dream, wherever they are, as a part of our philosophy and our little model, because they all have a Mayberry someplace, and we want them to make it better for their families and themselves, just like we try to make our Mayberries better. But anyway, last thought of the day, right? What's he talking about? He doesn't shut up. Anyway, last thought. Grandparenthood is one of life's rewards for surviving our own children. Irma Bombeck. Great words. Have a great day. And like Yogi Bear says, wherever you are or wherever you are, that's where you are. Have a good one.